It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. I think the thing that I have to do today that I don't feel like doing is finally getting all these boxes put somewhere. We still got them out here. That may look like a lot of boxes, but I may go through every single one of those this Christmas. I've kind of thought about it, and I think tomorrow we're doing the Lufkin thrift store trip. It's kind of gotten delayed and things have happened and stuff, but I'm trying to do that once a month. And we're definitely not doing that in December, so carpe diem. Morgen Zusammenfassung. Just pumping out the uke hangers here. Couple down there. Trying to finish up this banana order. We got 15 of these guys that need shipped. Another sharky. Smilodon. So I printed a couple of the two last components of the taco, and this may look like some kind of printer failure, but there's actually some kind of, I don't know, I must have done the polygons wrong or something, because this is supposed to be an internal thing, not an external thing. This part was printing fine, but because this messed up. Sometimes with designs, you mess something up. T-Rex skull with the backing plate. This little guy has been pretty naughty lately. I have changed the nozzle and stuff out a bunch of times, and for some reason it's just not printing right. I might have to go nuclear and replace the hot end, which isn't a big deal because I'm going to be doing that with a whole bunch of these. So I'm ordering a bulk shipment of those hot ends. And yeah, shark. And then another pipe can, which I want to get at least a couple extra. Man, maybe I need like 3 extra of these for Christmas. Yeah, I might do that. I think we're gonna get printers printing, or for our Deutsch viewers, Drucken. And then we're gonna drop off all those packages that got done over the weekend and were not deliverable, or were hard to deliver because of the lack of car. Then coffee time, and we might check out the thrift store, because the local thrift store has not been visited by me in a good while. I never said it would be cheesy. This is kind of a random one, but it applies to so many things, and I think it's worth sharing. There's a shortcut that I kind of use when people just make assertions. I kind of came up with this during my debate era, but it works. So if somebody just asserts something and they don't seem to have any proof, one thing you can do is just say, after they make their assertion, if somebody said that wasn't true, how would you show that it is? It might vary a little bit. You could also say something like, how would you show that the opposite is impossible? Now, things are generally proven through reason and evidence, and sometimes it can be sort of a combination of both. Like, let's say 2 + 2 = 4. If somebody asserted that 2 + 2 = 4, and somebody said, well, how would you show that the opposite is impossible? Or if somebody said that wasn't true, how would you show that it is? I mean, you could just get 4 things or 2 things and then push them together, and it's 4 things, and then you can show that it is true. Or like, you know, I guess it gets dicier when it's like historical events, or something you personally saw. But basically, any proof kind of boils down to that. For the purposes of a debate, you know, you guys can kind of agree on some historical source or something if you want. But anyway, just thought I'd share that. That sounds like a really basic thing, but the thing to realize is that nobody does that. People just assert things, especially on the internet. They just like say stuff all the time. They just say, this is good, this thing is bad. And like, it almost, I would say 90% of the time it never goes beyond that, and they haven't thought about it. Like, they're just saying stuff. You're gonna cut through 90% of the nonsense by just like saying what I just told you. If somebody said that wasn't true, how would you prove them wrong? that is an M3 classic right there. Got everything rolling pretty good. I think we're gonna drop off packages and it's gonna be that sweet, sweet coffee time. Also kind of random, but I've known a lot of international people, and one thing that's always funny about the way people perceive America is like, generalizations about Americans are much harder to make actually. And it's like people kind of forget that America is like at least 5 different countries in a cultural sense. You know, so it's very hard to generalize anything about Americans. I'm not saying there aren't some that are kind of accurate, but like Texas is real different than California. Like I grew up for a little while in California. It's very different. And all of that is different from the Midwest. Then New England is like pretty dang different than that. Even in our more homogenized modern internet society and stuff, these are very distinct places culturally. So, you know, when you're a country that's bigger than the vast majority of countries out there, I think smaller countries don't get how non-homogeneous America really is. If your car being full of packages could be a sound, it would be the sound of happiness. Oh yeah, doing the routine.
You don't have to.
This is Texas. Around here, we believe in cowboy snowman. One thing I don't miss about having a car. Slam, dunk. A little bit of a line today. Oh, by the way, I've seen Gratitude Gang comments show up in other people's videos. That is a wild thing. It's one thing for us to talk about it, but it's just crazy that this little thing we've created is starting to go out into the world. I think at the beginning I mentioned the reason I was trying to cultivate gratitude is because that's something that really helped me during the homeless phase. Really, that was specifically when I was living in my car, if I remember right. So I was just trying to like find things to be grateful for and try to be attracted by those things rather than just focus on the misery, basically. But I think the reason the gratitude thing really got going is because when you think about it, and I'm not at all the first person to say this, the problem with consumerism and some of the advertising and stuff is like, it's all or a lot of it is trying to make you feel sort of inadequate. And it's trying to get you to focus on what you don't have. And like, that's a thing that can be fine within reasonable bounds, but what it really happens when you just get inundated with advertising for things is it's like you almost only think about what you don't have. And I mean, you can't be grateful for what you don't have. Maybe unless it's like it's an STD or something, I don't know. There's nothing good that you don't have that you can be grateful for. I think that's a pretty true statement. So for me, it's almost like a market opportunity thing. It's like a morality market opportunity, a virtue market opportunity. Nobody's like championing gratitude, and none of these like traditional virtues would exist if they weren't really important. So as a culture, we've just forgotten that, and I would definitely like to encourage people to be grateful. Always hits so good. But yeah, what I was thinking, in politics or political theory, there's this thing called the tragedy of the commons. You guys may have heard of it. It's the idea that there are these problems that happen because there are things that nobody is in charge of, or nobody has an incentive to do something about. One of the classics is like the environment. You know, regardless of whatever you think about it, nobody, like if everybody pollutes, you know, it affects everybody, but nobody's like in charge of preventing that or something. And I think gratitude is like this. It's like, the only person that really has an incentive to cultivate gratitude is the individual. But when there's so many entities in society that profit off of you not being grateful, you know, I guess somebody needs to be in charge of keeping people grateful. So it might as well be me, right? I'm basically the Lorax, but for gratitude. Family Crisis Center, sweet Family Crisis Center. I bet a lot of people won't think about the fact that this is an Anchorman reference. You know what? We're doing it. I find myself irrationally loving these. Wow, I kind of love that. Nothing major today. No big folding table, that would have been cool. But we did find some interesting small stuff. Let's do a little recap. I did go with Father of the Bride. Man, they had like very few VHS tapes, but this was only 49 cents. Think about every time you watch a movie on Amazon that you have to rent, it's like $3.99. Like, I can just get this. And plus, it's nostalgic. The quality is horrible, but who cares? Like, the quality of everything is good now. We live in the digital world. Low quality is where it's at. So I also decided, we've been listening to cassettes a lot lately while we work, as you guys know. Now that we have the indoor cassette player, it's time to celebrate some Christmas. Listen, it's gonna be Christmas season. We might as well get going. I didn't look closely, but this looks like some old school Christmas hits to me. Plus, again, these things are really, really cheap. And then I found another one. One thing you find in cassettes in these thrift stores a lot of times is people love the holiday cassettes. Like, it's probably because there's a bunch of old grandmas and stuff that have the kids over, the grandkids over. They all just listen to Christmas hits, baby. It's wholesome. Plus, there's this compilation that I've seen there a few times, but I never looked at what it is. And yes, it is a 60s music compilation. I can actually kind of see it here. Oh man, it's got Sundown. I think that would be by Gordon Lightfoot. Yeah, let's see some others. Yeah, oh man, this is really good. I couldn't really read it in there, but with the light. Yeah, it's got California Dreaming, Different Drum by the Stone Ponies. That is the band that Linda Ronstadt came out of. Blowing in the Wind. Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell. You're So Vain. Carly Simon is okay. Dude, it's got Catch the Wind by Donovan. And I've got You Babe. This is like an amazing compilation. How did I miss this? Man, there's a bunch of stuff on there that I didn't know, but still, that's really good. Lastly, we got a slightly used candle. This was only $2.99. There's somebody in the comments sort of asking or talking about how much money I'm spending at these thrift stores, and it's like, it's really not very much at all. That's why I'm here. That's why I do it. Like, this was 50 cents. That candle, which came in a fancy thing, was like $2.99. This is not expensive. I was gonna say we should listen to the Christmas hits while we work today. I think I'm listening to that 60s compilation. There was so much good stuff on there. Man, how did I not get that before? Maybe the cover just looked kind of lame. Hours and minutes of uncertainty I long to be. I think I might as well try and catch the wind. And what happened to Donovan? Donovan was almost in that like Bob Dylan, Simon and Garfunkel league. And then he just like disappeared. All right, I think I'm doing the $8 burrito again. Un burrito grande. Un burrito con al pastor.
¿Ya hay pastor?
¿Tienes?
Sí.
Con todo, no frijoles.
¿No frijoles?
Sí.
Okay.
Rojo y verde. Salsa.
Lettuce, pico.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One burrito is okay.
So,
No drink?
no.
No? Okay. $8.
All right. You know that you're at a good place when the menu isn't even all in English. In fact, bonus points if it's not in English at all. I don't know if you guys remember that giant gold T-Rex skull we shipped a while back, but I think it went to England or somewhere in Britain. And the guy just messaged me and he's like, "It's bloody marvelous." Literally what he said. This place always takes a little bit, but it's so worth it. For an $8 burrito, you pay a little extra in time. On a totally unrelated note, you guys may have noticed that I have not had my charts up for day trading. And I don't do that around Christmas time because that's like game time. But apparently Bitcoin has not only surpassed its all-time high, but it's well into the 80,000s right now. I plan on selling my long-term portfolio when it starts getting into the 120 to 150K range. And that could happen. In fact, I'm predicting that it will happen by September to October of next year based on the historical highs, the highs in the halving cycle. If you're not a crypto person, it's fine. Gracias. Yeah, I think the rule is I get to go to the burrito place maybe about once a week. I don't want to do it too much because I do normally eat healthier things. But for $8, that's like what I spend at the grocery store. Like, come on. We got a bunch of stuff to do, but man, this is about to be good. Look at that. It's huge. A very nice addition to Candle Corner. We've gotten cozy with the candles. It is super duper cassette time. And the gang is stoked. Also, I probably need to print another one of these things. I bet this whole thing is gonna get covered in cassettes.
Daddy, let your mind roll on.
These are the times that try men's souls.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Oh yeah.
In a room where you do what you don't confess. I can picture every move that a man could make. Getting lost in a love that was your first mistake.
Your scarf, it was apricot. Hey, Jim Croce's on here.
My only boss was the fuck off deals in that long tunnel of time. Myself right back where I started again.
This is the one that's going to a member of the Gratitude Gang.
Gone to graveyard.
I think I'm really enjoying my cassette tape and scented candles aesthetic.
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out till we grow.
I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
certainty. I want to be along the sand. How that I may as well try and catch the wind. Don't let this head.
Nosferatu the Grey. Pretty late. We just got a few more things to do. The giant Einstein can is next. Just a couple of stringies and some heat gunning. About ready to close up for the day. Let's take a look around. I'm waiting on a replacement hot end for this one because it's just messed up too many times and it's not super urgent. Sharko, the pipe can is coming along quite nice. This is a Mimic trash can. This is a large David trash can. And we are reprinting the parts for the taco. I figured out with this one specifically that there were some geometric issues, but I fixed them and it's gonna be fine. We will have a complete taco. And I got all of these guys that are functional printing. Tomorrow we're gonna order a whole bunch of replacement hot ends and get them ready for Christmas. Got a couple last spools extruding. All is right with the world. Also, we got pretty close to printing all the bananas. We need 15 total and there's only a couple more to do. Time to close. Time to end the day. I will sit here and with a side of fries. Ugh. I haven't even started the Christmas selling and I'm already ready for it to be over. Another day of my car being operational. Always a good feeling. Got a lot of things packaged today, got a lot of things painted. I think we are, in fact, good to do a thrift store trip tomorrow. Might as well do one last big shebang before the holidays because we're not gonna get a chance to do it. Probably, honestly, either December 1st or January 1st. Most people think the Christmas season, selling season, stops after Christmas, but it really stops like mid-January, maybe even early February sometimes, because tons of people get gift cards for Christmas and then everybody's ordering stuff off of Etsy and all the other places I sell. I think I'm gonna start answering comments and stuff, at least a couple in this part, because I am grateful for you guys. But I just looked and in the last 28 days, which is what YouTube measures, at least on one of the things, people have left over 800 comments. I don't know what to do with that information. That is a lot. I mean, it's good engagement, you know. I'm not all about the engagement, but it's nice when you get it. Tom Alger said, "Those skulls are so awesome." Thank you. Somebody named Van Gutowski, something like that, wants to ship me stickers for the back of the TVs. So I am going to let them. Several people, including the Ian MCE, liked what I had to say at the end of the last video, so that's nice. Yup, it's been nice hearing from all of you. But yeah, today I'm grateful for, well, we started putting spools, you can see them, on that wall, since this one is full, and that is a great thing. I'm gonna do this big order of all the hot ends for the small printers, and in fact, I have two of the larger Creality printers under here that I got for dirt cheap because they're unrepaired, and we're gonna be putting those together. I actually meant to start putting those ones together today, but we'll get to it tomorrow, probably. The thrift store trip doesn't really take that long. It only takes a couple hours, so we'll have lots of time to get to things. But I'm grateful for that. Yeah, it seems like everything's gonna be fine. It really does. Maybe I'll look on eBay for a couple more full-size CR10s, because you can get them for really cheap if you get the unrepaired ones. I get unrepaired ones because I know how to repair them. And maybe just to be on the safe side, put a couple $100 into that. But I think mainly it's going to be the large stuff selling during Christmas. But you never know. Christmas sales are a whole different beast than like normal sales because it's a different audience. Like, I mean, obviously, it's random people. It's not like your core fans and stuff. So, who knows what's gonna... It's like that scene in Lord of the Rings where Gandalf's like, whatever comes through that gate. I'm grateful for the small pleasures of life. Getting coffee. It's an almost daily, if not daily, joy that I experience. I like videos of little dogs. There are so many on the internet, and it is fantastic that I live in a world where I get to enjoy that. There's a lot of good Russian Chihuahuas, shockingly. Very good Russian Chihuahuas on the internet. Here's one that just occurred to me. I haven't had any problems with the filament extrusion setups. Not really. I had to do that washer thing, but that wasn't even a big deal. Like, remember when I first started this series for the first month or two, it seemed like stuff was happening all the time. I almost hate to say this because I think I'm gonna jinx it. Probably not though. Like, it's just been good. It's been all good with the filament extrusion. There are so many things that can go wrong that don't go wrong that you don't appreciate. For me, that is one of them. Yup. I'm grateful for the people that I've gotten to meet through this YouTube channel. People friend me on Facebook, which any of you guys are free to do. I have a link in the on the main page here. And getting to talk to people who have recycling stuff they're doing, people that have print farms. I've had a lot of good conversations. It's a very great thing. Maybe eventually we'll start doing collabs and stuff. But I'm grateful for all of that. So now it is gratitude gang time to rise up. Oh yeah, I'm also grateful for the cassettes I bought today, which will probably be really good. All those old school like Christmas song cassettes, so nostalgic. But tell me in the comments what you are grateful for, and you will be in spirit part owner of this award. I am the owner of this award, but you'll be part owner of this award. Tell me what you're grateful for. Tell me the small joys you have in life, the little things that make it all worth it. Projects you've been working on, what you guys are doing, and anything else you want to tell me. I will probably give you a heart react. I wish I could give more than a heart react. There needs to be a haha react, because a lot of them are haha. But anyway, I will probably give you an upvote. And you know what? If you want to go the extra mile, if you want to be like a top tier gratitude gang guy, a gratitude gang member, go like some other comments. It makes people feel good. Man, sometimes people get like 3 or 4 upvotes on their comment. They feel like a boss. You want to feel like a boss, don't you? Make other people feel like a boss. Give to other people what you want, and a lot of times you'll get it. Terms and conditions apply. So that's what being the Gratitude Gang is about. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you guys. I love reading the comments. Peace out, folks.
These are the times that try men's souls.